How is everybody doing? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And I have a panel ready today to talk about the Marvel solicitations for August of 2024. But before I go any further, a big thank you to David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel for sending us this advanced information that will be available everywhere in a couple of weeks, maybe by mid-month. It's usually when it happens. But like I said, I won't be alone today. I am joined by this wonderful panel, and I'm going to let each and every one of them introduce themselves, starting below me because he's late, and that's okay. Curtis, who are you?
Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry that I'm a little late, but I'm here now, and my name is Curtis, and I love Epic Collections.
Understatement of the year. Okay. Anything else about yourself?
Well, what do you need to know? I have
Curtis,
3
how long
children.
have you been doing this? You should fire it out, man. Fire it out.
Oh, okay. I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm at epicmarvelpodcast.com, and James has all of the pertinent information in the
All
chat
right.
there. So thank you, James, as always. What a good friend he is.
Thank you, James, for that. And to his right is none other than the man with the mask, the adorable Omni Dog. Who are you, sir? Separating readers from them. Okay. Who are you, sir? What do you do?
Omni Dog from Omni Dog's Vault on YouTube. I have been separating readers from their money since 2017, and apparently viewers don't like my hands when I do an overview. Somebody sent in a criticism that I'm going to take as a tip that my hands need moisturizer and a manicure. So, message received.
Why are you talking to the panel like it was one of us? That
No, I was looking in the. It was Peter. Okay, it was Peter.
I believe that. I actually believe that. But Peter gives good tips. It's never criticism. It's just good tips.
Just tips. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a helpful comment.
He wants the best out of everybody, so I get it.
Thank you.
Now, to his right is new to this panel, but welcome aboard, JV of Comic Book Lab. Who are you, sir? What do you do?
Hi, everyone. So I'm JV of Comic Book Lab, and we create comics for clients. So our team of trained comic book professionals can make your dream comic. You can find us on FB and on IG. And also, I write articles about comics for this magazine called Adobe Magazine.
Okay, thank you so much, JV, for being here. And to my right is Crisis with a K. Who are you, Crisis?
I am Crisis with a K, just about everywhere you can find someone talking about comic books on the internet. I've been writing about comic books at crushingcrisis.com since 2010, where I have guides to the vast majority of the Marvel Universe and an ever-growing amount of the DC Universe, including all of Superman as of the past couple weeks. And I read just about everything new so that you don't have to, and that's why I come on this show to tell you why you should pick up all of Marvel's new books or not.
And thank you, James, for highlighting the stream. Wow, there's a cute cat taking over the stream, Omni Dog.
I'm like a Bond villain right now. I have a cat on my lap.
When did you get a cat?
It's not our cat. She comes here to sleep every day. She's our neighbor's cat.
But you opened the door to this cat. Are you feeding the cat?
No, we just give her water. But she loves to come here, and her name's Lily, and she's been coming over for about 2 months now. I think it's too noisy at her house during the day, so she comes here to sleep because she knows it's quiet.
Okay, got it.
And so she gets in trouble.
You know the next step is feeding the cat and then writing her off on your taxes. That's it.
Yeah, Omnicat. Oh, I already have an Omnicat. Damn it.
You write Kristen off all your taxes? That's awesome.
Yes.
And last but not least, Near Mint Musician. What's up, Max?
Hi, I'm Max. I read books and I play guitar. I write music and do all this sort of stuff. I know that Peter referred to himself as Howard the Duck of the whole near mint thing for occasionally popping up, but because I pop up even less, I'm like Pip the Troll.
Pip the Troll
plays guitar.
Oh.
James is posting links in my social security number and everything, so if you're interested, you can find that in the chat.
Do you even have that in the Netherlands, a number?
We don't ask.
Hi, Omar, great meeting you and Mel at C2E2. James Rhodes. Now I know who you are. Now I can put a face. the name and how you're Indiana Jones guy. So thank you so much for saying hi. And yes, if you went to C2E2 and saw us, thank you so much for coming up to saying hi, and also for joining our panel if you were there. It was a lot of fun. So Max's Instagram is right here if you want to follow him, and his YouTube channel. El Gran Omni Perro en Vivo y a todo color. Oh, I should have let you read that there.
That's all right. I'm okay.
The voice
Rodimus, I just sent you an email.
We have nothing here in the Netherlands, just rain. Is that true, Max? Nothing at all.
We got a lot of moxie.
Moxie.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, how was everybody else doing out there? It's been a while since we've been together. Like, I think, Peter, it's been like a month since you and I have done a video together because you've been hiding away, knocking out.
I think we were all hungover from Omarch, even those of us who do not drink. I think we're hungover from Omarch just from proximity.
Yeah.
And so
phenomenal celebration.
Yeah.
Proximity. No, I think we can double up on that. We can make it an Omarch Square, and just claim April as part of that. I think that would be good. But yes, we are knocking out the DC Omnis Most Wanted, which will be starting sometime soon. So make sure you are subscribed or checking out our social media to let you know exactly when we're going to go live with that. We are wrapping up the Most Wanted reprints from DC Comics, which I will be sending to my DC contacts. That ends tomorrow. So in case you haven't voted, go and vote. So please,
I voted.
Go vote for the books you want reprinted, whether it's an absolute edition or an omnibus edition from DC Comics. But this is a Marvel stream, and we are here to talk about Marvel solicitations. We're going to show you the covers, the content, and the prices of these books, as well as the page count. Books have announced, and books showing up. There's some have shown up in the catalog, I think, not in full detail, but it's nice to see you too. It's nice to see everybody. Jess, you're a March baby. You've been a March baby for longer than Omar. Don't let him take over. What is this? Our month. When did this become our month?
Our month.
I just came over here like a conquistador, and I discovered March. So there we go. The Omnibus Conquistador strikes again. Sorry, Bar, you're out. All right, let's go ahead and show the screen. Now, I'm sorry, I forgot to say, Curtis does have a rule. What was the rule, Curtis? That Peter and I cannot talk for 3 hours about certain books? Is that what it was? Was
No,
that
just 2 hours. Just let's keep the omnibus talk to under 2 hours.
They're just so good. All right, let's kick it off with one that I've already announced, and that is the Micronauts, the original Marvel years, Omnibus Volume 3. Collecting the remaining issues of the original Micronaut series plus the new voyages, and $125, 712 pages. And you have 3 covers. You have the Arthur Adams cover, the Kelly Jones cover, who was doing a lot of the internal art, and then you have this beautiful piece right here. And I believe that's issue number 1 of the new voyages, if I'm not mistaken. And that is, of course, by Michael Golden. And the New Avengers Omnibus Volume 1. People have been asking me, where is this? When is it coming? And now it's going to be solicited. So make sure you pre-order, because people that were wondering, hey, I wanted to pre-order, where is it at? And here it is, coming back to print, Collecting Avengers 500 to 503, the finale, which wraps up that era of Avengers for a while. And New Avengers, that kicks off the new era, 1 through 31, annual number 1, and New Avengers Most Wanted Files number 1, the New Avengers guest starring the Fantastic Four, and I think wasn't that the military giveaway book? I think is what it was called. Giant Size Spider-Woman number 1. Thank you, Curtis. New Avengers Illuminati number 1, and Civil War: The Confession and Civil War: The Initiative. 1,208 pages, $125. Yes. Thank God, Warren. And best era sure, whatever, buddy.
Well, and the exciting thing for me there is, like, if they're reprinting Volume 1, could Volume 2 be finally in the chute? We don't know. There's no hints, but it was on the Marvel Most Wanted Omnibus poll, and we've all waited a long time to press through a complete amount of the Bendis run in oversized, because of course we only have the Secret Invasion Omnibus, which does not perfectly map from there. So fingers crossed that another Volume 1 printing could be an indication that there could be a volume 2 on the
Talk more about this omnibus so it can stretch out to 2 hours.
Excalibur 3
I
was
like
solicited a couple of months ago, so that one has been solicited.
Yeah. I mean, if you've
I
never
like
read
that right underneath.
Oh.
Right underneath on sale January 2025, it says that this is the blockbuster. These are the blockbuster comics that transformed New Mutants into X-Force. Truer
we know
words
Bendis and his
have never
retcons.
been
It's
I mean,
that
spoken.
we'll
good. It's
explain
that
everything later.
It's that good. He retconned New Mutants in the New Avengers. I've already sent him a screen grab of that, letting them know that it's a mistake. But the contents and the description of the book itself is fine. But yeah,
There's a very hardworking designer and probably a very small closet somewhere in the Marvel offices that has to put
absolutely.
together this
Yep.
hulking, gigantic catalog every single month with all of these cover images. Curtis and I and everybody else who does design, JV, all know what an incredible headache that probably is.
Right.
So props to them.
I've
if we
actually
only
been,
find one.
I've been making the Diamond solicit advertisements for Clover Press, and they only get like 2 or 3 books a month. I can't even imagine how putting together one with hundreds of books a month, and so it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, be insane. Hey, question though: how many volumes of the Bendis run would there be, aside from of course, obviously volume?
Well, you're talking to some mapping experts over here. Do you have 2 hours?
Yay, 3 hour
Hey guys, but
Under 2 hours.
3 hour omnibus talk.
It's interesting because it's New Avengers, and then it splits off into the Mighty Avengers.
Yeah.
And then that era gets relaunched, and you get New Avengers, Avengers, and the Dark Avengers. I don't know if they would put everything under one banner, or if they can just do a couple of omnis of New Avengers, and then maybe Avengers by Brian Michael Bendis. Although this isn't New Avengers by Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, this is just New Avengers. Well,
what do you think, Peter? 3?
Well, like you said, it depends on the scope. So if you just think about it in chunks, this series goes to issue 64, so we could theoretically get the rest of the series in a next chunk. Mighty Avengers itself, which wasn't all written by Bendis, some of it was written by Dan Slott, is another, I think, 36 issues, so that could be an omnibus on its own. They do kind of closely relate for the first 8 issues right after Civil War, where they kind of like pop back into each other, but then that kind of turns into its own run. And then, of course, after this, there's also Dark Avengers. And then after this run is over, there's the 2010 volumes, both of New Avengers and Avengers, both written by Bendis, which both go for 34 issues, an annual and a 0.1. So that's like another 2. So what did we just count? New Avengers 2, the 2 2010s, Dark Avengers, and Mighty Avengers. We need 5 more to collect through this entire Bendis period.
What about that one of Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes with Bendis and Bagley? Doesn't that count as well? That's like
the first 8 issues of Avengers Assemble in 20.
Yeah, Avengers Assemble.
Yeah,
the one that leads into Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
right. That one.
Yeah. Yep.
That would be a curious one to place, because like which of those 2 late Bendis volumes would you put it in? Because it's kind of like deliberately the movie team, because they knew that it was coming up to the movie in 2013.
So my buddy Keenan has a really good question that kind of leads into what Always an Instigator is saying. It depends if they include events too, like Secret Invasion, Siege. Will it pad out a lot? Well, we know with the New Avengers, they are not including Civil War, because Civil War took place, in issues 20, 21?
Yeah, it would be in this book
during New Avengers. I don't, being that Secret Invasion was written by Bendis, I think that event might actually be collected in the omnibus. And then they will have a Secret Invasion event omnibus that's already been out, and it's out of print right now.
Just like y'all get wild with this. I think they already have the complete collection.
Oh, you haven't seen Wild yet, buddy.
I don't know. Marvel doesn't do a lot of surprises in these modern omnis after there's already a paperback mapping. But lay your bets.
Wait! What do you mean Wild? What you're saying that they won't put Siege in the second omnibus?
Yeah, I mean, I want everything
Invasion.
in everything, but I don't know. I think sometimes we get wild when there's an existing paperback, and then it comes out and it just has the contents of the paperbacks, and we're like, oh no, we already been new there.
Well, I mean, if you look at things like Thor by JMS and Gillen, they added Siege in there, and that's not written by neither one of those two gentlemen.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, anything is possible. Any suggestion is possible.
Right. But you also look at Captain America by Ed Brubaker. Like I just read that entire run, and it would have made sense to put Civil War in there because it leads to death of Captain America, and I mean it does, but no one put it in there in the first place. They just put some text indicating that the background, the setup, but that's it. So
I think it is going to be interesting how these books are mapped now. Those are, with reprints, it's hard to add things because they're like, look, we already have the files. We're going to send this to the printer. Just put a new ISBN. That's usually what they do. That comes with Epic collections. Curtis, can you think of one Epic collection that they've reprinted that they've added a book to?
Not a single one.
Okay. With Omnis, when they add material to something that's being reprinted, they usually change it up a little bit, like Iron Fist, for example, or the Eternals, or like I mentioned, the Thor by JMS and Gillen. It used to be just JMS, and then they added the whole Gillen thing. So they would have to change up a lot of things. So X-Force is being reprinted, Volume 1, for the people that were wondering if I just sent the top 20. No, I sent the top 25, so this one made it in there. Of course, that was last year, and this is reprinting the classic New Mutants 98 through 100. And everybody knows New Mutants 98 is very popular right now because of a certain movie.
Oh, Omar.
Yes, boss.
Sorry, Spider-Girl, the Spider-Girl Modern Era Epic Collection included the entire Spider-Women. Was that in the Omnibus? The Spider-Women storyline? Oh, okay. Then yeah, I don't think that they've included anything new in those ones.
Oh, okay. What was I saying? Oh, yes, 98. First appearance of a very popular character. And of course, I'm talking about Gideon.
Omnidog.
It is the first appearance of Gideon in issue 98 of New Mutants. And then that goes all the way to 100. And then annual number 7, which is the Kings of Pain storyline, which means we also have to collect X-Men Annual 15, X-Factor Annual 6, and X-Force 1 through 15, as well as Where's Material from New Warriors Annual number 1. Spider-Man 16, which is the crossover, Todd McFarlane's final issue, which is a crossover, and it's one of those landscape issues that you have to turn the book around to read it that way.
Always fun with an omnibus.
As well as
taking
X-Force
your life in your hands.
as well as X-Force number 4. Cable, Blood and Metal. I love those 2 issues. It's a miniseries by Fabian Nicieza and John Romita Jr. And then X-Force Annual number 1.
When is this on sale?
This goes on sale definitely not April. We need to change that. I've got it announced for later this. I think it's this year though, at the end of the year.
Okay,
$100 for the standard edition, and then the direct market is also $100. Now, this one did have both covers previously released, just like this here did as well. And Daredevil coming in with a new cover.
Ooh.
So the standard edition cover now will match the standard edition cover of Volume 1, and that is the Rafael de la Torre cover, and the Caqueto cover is now the DM cover. And this wraps up Chip Zdarsky's run with Daredevil 31 through 36, Daredevil Woman Without Fear 1 through 3, Devil's Reign 1 through 6, Devil's Reign Omega 1, and Daredevil 1 through 14.
Nice.
So it is December. Thank you so much for that, James. According to comic releases, December 17th. Thank you all. Baby Nicieza still got it. His Juggernaut mini during Dawn of X was kick-ass. Oh, I agree. He still has it. I love it.
That was really good.
Yeah. How dare you, Crushing Crisis? How dare you speak behind me like that? I'm going to ignore it. 768 pages, $100, both the direct market and standard edition. We have Marvel The End, which I did ask if they could add. What the heck did you all ask me to add? A couple things. I think I was told no on a couple of them, but here we go. Here's what they have. Incredible Hulk The End, Marvel Universe The End miniseries 1 through 6, Wolverine The End 1 through 6, X-Men The End, Book 1, 2, and 3, 1 through 6. So 18 issues of that. Fantastic Four The End 1 through 6. Iron Man The End, Captain America The End, Captain Marvel The End, Deadpool The End, Doctor Strange The End, Miles Morales The End, and Venom The End. 1,168 pages, $125. And you have the Jim Starlin cover here, and this Claudio, it's a Castellini cover from Wolverine The End. this stuff.
Spider-Girl had an end.
Who
Didn't
did?
Spider-Girl have the end story as well?
Spider-Girl had the end. Punisher had the end. There was another book people suggest. Oh, people suggested adding End of Days of Daredevil in there, and I was like, that's an 8-issue miniseries. I don't know if they'll do that or not. I think that was the one that they were like, no. And I did ask about Punisher the end, and that might have to do with the rating on this, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Punisher the end was rated M. That would bump up the rating on this book.
That was a Max book.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That makes sense.
So, for the people wondering, like, Incredible Hulk the End has been collected in the Peter David Omnibus collections. Miles Morales the End has been collected. Captain Marvel the End has been collected. But things like Fantastic Four, X-Men the End has never been collected in oversized format, or Marvel Universe the End. Wolverine the End, I think that had a hardcover and it had a trade paperback, but I can't remember if the hardcover was a deluxe edition or not. I want to say it was just the standard size hardcover.
I think so. Yeah.
And the rest of them, I don't think have been collected in any hardcover format or oversized hardcover format. Waiting patiently for the end. No, you're not, Phil. How are you? You were just here for all the Venom talk. And Secret Wars with 3 different covers, which 2 Alex Ross covers and 1 Jim Chung cover. All right, what does this collect? Collecting Avengers 35 through 44, New Avengers 24 through 33, Secret Wars 1 through 9, and Free Comic Book Day 2015 Secret Wars number 0, 872 pages, $100. Oh yes, and this is true. Punisher the End is also collected in the Punisher Garth Ennis Max Omnibus Volume 2. Thank you for that. Love these streams after work. Well, I'm happy you're here, buddy. Happy. How could you? Hell. So in this one here, this one does double dipping. Lots of double dipping with Avengers by Jonathan Hickman Omnibus Volume 2. That omnibus does not have Secret Wars in it, though. Secret Wars has been available in an oversized hardcover that's out of print. I don't know how much it is these days. But what you're getting here is, if for some reason you don't have the Jonathan Hickman Avengers, the Hick Avengers Volume 2, I guess you're getting everything here. But if you don't, what you're getting here really is Secret Wars 1 through 9 and Free Comic Book Day Secret Wars. And that is an oversized format. That's about it.
Well, I feel like it's an answer to an interesting question of, we have certain series that everybody demands Marvel put into a reprintable oversized format because they don't tend to go back to print on those event OHCs. And Secret Wars, of course, the biggest and one of the ones that people beat the drums for the hardest. But then the question becomes, well, what will make it an omnibus? Even though a lot of those were oversized issues, just the 9 issues and the 0 alone wouldn't. And in this case, it created a double dip. And it's like, kind of get what you wish for sometimes. There's a lot of these books where, like, we've all on this channel asked for a Hoxpox omnibus because we know that they're not going to reprint that OHC. Would a Hoxpox omnibus probably double dip a little bit into the X-Men by Jonathan Hickman omnibus? Most likely, because so it's just the reality. And I think instead of kind of getting twisted about the double dip, it's like, yeah, but do you get Secret Wars? Is that what you wanted? And for the people who are only going to buy this, it tells a more complete story. So you got to kind of think about the democracy aspect of the mapping and if it serves everyone well. Plus, you got the thing that you asked for.
Secret Wars,
and they want this one to be. Sorry, go ahead.
Secret Wars sells for around $40 to $60 on eBay.
Thank you for that, Omni Dog. Is that your copy you're flipping on eBay right now?
I'm not flipping it. It's a hardcover. I keep all oversized hardcovers.
Do you? All right, my man. What were you saying, Curtis?
I was saying that we were just talking about how we would want these events in the New Avengers Omnibus instead, but instead they're putting New Avengers issues in this one. So why can't they just be one book? But I think they also want to be able to brand it Secret Wars, like have that right up there on the cover, rather than have it hidden in a New Avengers Omnibus.
Yeah.
Well, and also it's Jonathan Hickman. That name alone is a big seller, right? And on top of that, those books, the Hick Venger books, were already out. So all they have to do again is just send the files to the printer and call it a day. We're going to reprint these books. Oh, they want Secret Wars back? Well, we don't do OHCs anymore, so let's go ahead and print an omnibus. What are we going to put in this omnibus? Can we put all the Secret Wars crossovers in there and just call it a Secret Wars omnibus? Or is Jonathan Hickman going to step in and go, not on my watch. You're going to put my books in there that lead into Secret Wars. You know,
honestly, though, I feel it's a bit of a cheat, though. It's a bit of a cheat because if you look at New Avengers, the first 6 issues really sets up Secret Wars, especially with the incursion. So, like, I would have had to argue that, oh man, those first 6 issues should be in this book. But I get it. You know, you're trying to brand it. So yeah.
Yeah, JV, I think that's a great point. I personally, if I was trying to make a very self-contained Secret Wars, I might have and knowing it's going to double dip anyway, like it could have picked and chosen a few more greatest hits issues that really set up the whole idea of incursions. I think that would be really a fun read.
Like, for example, like Peter, for example, the Dark Phoenix saga. They did one just dedicated for all the X-Men books that are dedicated to Dark Phoenix.
How was that book keep getting brought up?
And that's why it's the favorite book of Near Mint Condition. That's right, folks.
No,
you heard it here.
we signed
Phoenix Volume 1.
We signed Lars' copy. Oddfell, myself, and Maddie signed Lars' copy. What did I write? Everybody wrote something loving, and I wrote, this book sucks. And I actually like the story. Marvel Studios.
Now we know which side JV is on. Nice. Declared.
God bless. I keep inviting the wrong people. Marvel Studios, Deadpool and Wolverine, the art of the movie slipcase. Wow. They brought back the slipcases, and it looks like it's gone up to $100. So these are $65, if I'm not mistaken. I've got one of them right here.
And they usually do not come out that fast. I did like a double take that this comes out so quickly after the movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's Deadpool. It's Wolverine. You got to strike while that iron is hot. Yeah, I guess they're bringing back the slipcase for this particular one because it's Deadpool and Wolverine. All right. Star Wars Legends Empire Omnibus Volume 3. So it looks like they've changed the cover of the standard edition, if I'm not mistaken. When I announced it looks a little different here. Maybe I'm wrong. Ken Kelly and Chris Scalf are the 2 cover artists. And this collects, oh my gosh, lots of Jabba the Hutt. Oh, those are really good. I like those stories. Those were in the Epic collections that came out last year, I think. But Jabba the Hutt, the Gar's and the Hunger of Princess Dumpy, and the Dynasty Trap and Betrayal.
They're really clever. They're really clever stories. They're very comedic, and they put Jabba in a much more different light than he is in the movies. That's for sure. But they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I dig it.
Are these from the current Star Wars, or is this older Star Wars?
If it says Legends, it's the classic stuff.
Okay,
like this is the Dark Horse era.
Okay.
And also collecting the Free Comic Book Day 2012, the Star Wars Boba Fett Enemy of the Empire, Agent of the Empire, Iron Eclipse 1-5, Agent of the Empire, Hard Targets 1-5, The Force Unleashed, The Force Unleashed 2, The Blood Ties 1-4, Blood Ties Boba Fett is Dead 1-4, Star Wars Empire 1-4, and the material from Star Wars Tales 7, 11, 15 through 18, 15 and 16, 18 through 20, and A Decade of Dark Horse number 2, 1,056 pages, $125. So, Crushing Crisis, you were able to answer and type. Safe way to at least. How are you able to type and talk at the same time? And you're arguing with Curtis on top of that.
Yeah, he and Curtis are talking in the chat. I'm watching the chat since they're not talking. They're
trying to do something during all this.
If you're watching the stream as a replay, we still love you, but you're missing half the story if you're not reading along in the live chat. That's where all the juicy stuff happens between the
juicy stuff.
Omar doesn't even know.
I don't even know what you people are talking about half the time. Sometimes I look at Peter and he's cracking up, and I'm like, "What the heck is he laughing at? Was it something I said?" Oh, he's talking and arguing with the people in the comments. Okay, got it. Marvel Masterworks, Marvel Team Up Volume 8. Collecting Marvel Team Up 78, 80 through 90, and annual number 279. Is that Red Sonja or is that What's Marvel Team Up 79? Why can't that be collected?
Yeah, I think that's Red Sonja.
Dang it. Really? Yeah, you're right. Ah, dang it. Okay. 296 pages, $75.
I have to say, I'm surprised that they're still staying so small on these, knowing that we have to get to issue 150, and knowing that some of the Marvel Masterworks are approaching omnibus size. I mean, there's like 300-400 pages ones. The X-Men ones, I think, have cracked 500 pages before. Every time a Marvel team up one comes up, I'm like, ooh, here's their chance to like press a little bit harder, because they keep just doing 10 issues at a time. We're going to need 6 more. So I kind of thought that this would go a little bit further into the 90s. I was surprised to know that it was only 80 to 90.
Yeah, I wonder if they want to keep the price point down though.
Yeah, it could be
because
coming
maybe
to
this
that
one
point.
isn't. Yeah, it's not as big of a seller as X-Men Masterworks.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. Bar, I'm gonna ship that book that I bought for you at C2E2. I'm gonna ship it to somebody that deserves it. Yeah, I hope it's your neighbor too. I'm gonna find your neighbor's address. I'm gonna give them instructions to tear it up in front of you. Marvel Masterworks, The Mighty Thor, Volume 23. We are entering the Walter Simonson era, which is a big deal. I'll tell you why here in a second. Collecting Thor 337 and 348, Annual 12, and Marvel Fanfare number 13, 368 pages, $75. And it's a big deal because the Thor by Walter Simonson Omnibus has modern colors on it. And I know, people that love the classics don't really like the modern colors. But so now we are getting the original colors, kind of like the Frank Miller Daredevil Masterworks. Whenever we got to that era, that was a big celebration for the people that didn't want the new colors. But here we are. Finally it's crazy. This stuff from my childhood is now in Masterworks format. You have to wonder if they could just go back and change the color of a character and name to make it printable, make Red Sonja Blue Susan. Wasn't there? I want to say there was like a small little lawsuit over somebody doing something very similar to that. It wasn't Marvel. I think it was maybe Image. I can't remember. But I remember there was like some kind of lawsuit because of somebody using Red Sonja, but yeah, making her like Blue Mary or something like that. Well, no, that's a SNK character. But anyway, Deadpool and Wolverine, World War III, Joe Kelly, Adam Kubert. I didn't even know about this series. $15.99, collecting the 3-issue miniseries.
First issue just came out this week.
I got super excited. I thought that was Dark Cock. And then Snake Eyes. And then it's some dude with a motorcycle helmet just stabbing Wolverine. What's with these covers? Why is Wolverine wearing the brown and gold in this one and the classic yellow? And that's yellow and blue, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this
Peter?
is during Krakoa.
Oh, it's during the Krakoa era? Okay.
Yeah, it's like, it's not not part of the whole From the Ashes.
Yeah, it's not really related to anything that's going on.
Oh, Doug, dig that
It's
cover.
related to the movie that's coming out.
Exactly.
With the first appearance of Gideon, New Mutants 98. Ultimate Black Panther Volume 1, Peace and War. Brian Hill, Stefano Caselli, Carlos Nieto, and collecting Ultimate Black Panther 1 through 6. Thoughts, Peter?
I did not like the first issue, but then I really loved the second issue. So I'm kind of on a little bit of a back and forth on this Black Panther run. It's, the whole premise of the new Ultimate Universe is, what if superheroes just didn't happen? What if the maker took out enough elements of the Marvel Universe that none of the superhero revolution of the Silver Age or the modern Ultimate Age occurred? And in that version of it, Black Panther is still in a very isolationist Wakanda, where he is just happy to be the king and not really have any responsibilities outside of his world. But now the outside world is starting to come to Wakanda. So it's really interesting, but it's very much a remix of characters you kind of have to already love. I think if you don't already love T'Challa, if you don't already love Okoye, if you don't already love Storm, then I don't know if this is going to super hit for you. It feels very remixy rather than its like own bold tale to me. But that is kind of the point of Ultimate Marvel. So you can't really dock points for it being a remix.
I read the first 2 issues as well, Peter, and I just felt I'm still on the fence because I like Brian Hill. I love what he did with Blade. That run just finished, and I thought it was pretty impressive. But yeah, this is like I'm not so sure. I'm gonna probably give it one more issue. Life is too short, man.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that I always try to find the angle that people would like is if you like the internal Wakandan politics stuff, if you want if you want Wakandan intrigue and not him out there with the clock, but like much more about like, what does this mean for my future as the king? That's the story that so far Brian Hill is telling here.
Isn't that what Ta-Nehisi Coates did in like his first couple of arcs?
Yes, it is. I would say it's a similar vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for fans who like the priest run, I don't know. I don't think they can really get into this because like I think that for me that's still the bar.
Who you said Ken Lashley is? Oh no, Ken Lashley did not the cover. Oh, this is the series my wife's been reading, Spectacular Spider-Man Arachnobatics. This is by Greg Weisman, who got to work in Spectacular Spider-Man, but also probably known for his Gargoyles creation, which is huge. This collects Spectacular Spider-Man 1 through 5 and Web of Spider-Man #1. 136 pages, $17.99. Humberto Ramos is the artist in the book, though.
Loving this. Love. I read the first issue multiple times because I actually laughed out loud. It's just so charming, so funny. Exactly. If you just want quippy Spider-Man and you're like, where are Peter and Miles just swinging around, quipping at each other, being partners? This is the book that you have always wanted to read.
And Melanie's been really liking this series. And I was like, I'm going to wait for the trade. Don't tell me anything else. I can't wait for the trade of Ultimate Spider-Man.
They order a lot of coffee. There's a lot of spoilers. Coffee is ordered.
It's true. Yeah.
She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell continues in volume 5, collecting Sensational She-Hulk 6 through 10. And Iguara and Andre Janot. Curtis, how do you say his last name?
I don't know.
I bring you here for a specific reason, Curtis.
Haven't researched that one.
This is my favorite book so far from Marvel, She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell. I love all of it.
Have you tried manga? Yes. I don't know if you've tried manga or not.
Manga?
Yes.
What the hell are you talking about? The two don't even mix.
This is the most manga book that Marvel is putting out right now.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good.
It's great. So on the Venn diagram, those two don't even touch.
What are you talking about? She's got a book club with her girlfriend. She's going out shopping with her girlfriends. Like, this is straight up either Strangers in Paradise or just your slice of life manga with a little bit of superheroes in it, which is great. I'm loving it. I think it's awesome. I read the last volume and yeah, it's still fun. But it's a lot different than like Charles Soule's run, John Byrne's run. It doesn't take itself seriously too, which is also fun.
And the art has just been fantastic month after month. And Jack of Hearts, for all of the Jack of Hearts major fans out there, he's back.
All 10 of you. He's here. All 10 of the Jack of Hearts fans. Did he have a collection? I think he had like a Marvelverse book, didn't he? Yes, he did, Peter. Stop it. Am I making that up? X-Force by Benjamin Percy, Volume 9. Is this it? 47 through 50? Is that wrap up this stuff?
Yeah, that's it.
The final battle between X-Force and the Beast. Spoiling it there. Why are they fighting the Beast? This one is 112 pages, $15.99. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. This is Scarlet Witch by Steve Orlando, Volume 3. It's really interesting that for the single issues, and the same thing happened as She-Hulk, they are renumbering the title or rebranding it. But for the trade paperbacks, I noticed that with She-Hulk, that's a volume 5, and this is a volume 3 of Scarlet Witch by Steve Orlando.
This may be the book I will go to bat for the hardest in this whole catalog. I am a little up and down on Steve Orlando comics. I frigging love this. The art, first of all, the artwork. by Lorenzo Tameta. So amazing. I wish they had the colorist credited here too. The name escapes me right now, but it's so vivid. It's not shiny. It feels like just so bold and saturated on every page. I love the way that he draws their faces. There's a lot of smirking Quicksilver in this, and it's a good reason for them to be together. It's not just like, oh, sibling team up. Like, they meet up in the first issue and they have a very specific conflict, and then somebody has a conflict with them. And I just think if you've loved Scarlet Witch all along by Steve Orlando, it pays off. If you wish Quicksilver would get used for more stuff, he really hasn't been in a lot of comics for the past 5 or 6 years. He's great here. It quickly went to the top of my stack. I cannot say enough about the internal art in this book. It's really, really good.
Frank Williams is the colorist. Thank you for that. And
Thank you. Yeah, Frank Williams killing it. I love the color look in this book so much. It's very distinct.
Can we all applaud Crisis' hair today? And Peter's hair is like a real life Daughterman art. Oh my gosh. If that doesn't give you a huge head, Peter, I don't know. Real life Daughterman artwork. Nice. Okay. Wasn't this a
I'm looking for Greg Land. I'm looking for real life Greg Land generally, but I'll take Daughterman.
I love this book too. This is an excellent book.
I haven't read the Scarlet Witch or Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver one, but I've read the first 2 volumes.
That's what I'm referring to. Yeah.
Love the last story. I thought the last story was wonderful and beautiful and perfect. The second volume took a little bit of a dip for me, but
yeah,
I'm not saying it's bad. It was still good. It's still one of the better Marvel titles out there. And I haven't read this one. Melanie's been getting the single issues of these, and I think she's been enjoying them. I usually, if she doesn't enjoy something, she drops it. So,
their first appearance, is that a full issue, or is it just like material of?
Probably the full issue of that first Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Oh yeah, the X-Men number 4.
Yeah,
but it is crediting Jack Kirby too. Are they recoloring it? That would be interesting. Night Thrasher.
Who asked for this?
Night Thrasher
Omar.
fans. Like, there's 12 of us, and there's only 10 Jack Hart fans.
Dozens of us.
You gotta keep that trademark active.
Dwayne Taylor's back. I don't know how he came back. Last I thought, he was gone because of that awful event, Civil War. But this is I don't know. I'm not even familiar with the creative team. It's definitely not Fabian Nicieza though, and it may end up destroying very people. So, 90 Sensation Night Thrasher, breakout star of the New Warriors, headlines his first series in 30 years.
That's a stretch since he's the sensation. I don't remember it being the sensational Night Thrasher back then.
No, I mean, he didn't give himself adjectives like people tend to do these days with like sensational She-Hulk. It's interesting that they're using Dwayne. Like, does this take place in the past?
No, it's present day. I think you'll like it. It's very reverent of New Warriors.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to read it. I'm a big fan of the New Warriors, so any New Warriors outside of Zeb Wells' New Warriors is good New Warriors. Dead X-Man, Steve Fox. He is friends with Dawn of X. Yeah, Steve Fox is writing this series, collecting Dead X-Men 1 through 4. You've read this, right, Peter?
Well, who's raise of hands? Who's keeping up? Max, you're reading X-Men right now. Yeah. JV, everybody. So we have to give everybody the talk about X-Men right now, don't we?
Wait.
Don't
spoil it for me.
What's that talk?
I'm not caught up.
What do you mean? Don't spoil it for me. The title is Dead X-Men.
And spoilers, they're not dead. So look, this book. I mean, really want to hear what Max and JV think. I don't think this makes any sense on its own. Not a lick of sense. You have to read this with Kieran Gillen's Rise of the Powers of X. It's literally taking place in between the panels of that book. And I think to just read this by itself, it's just like a fever dream. It doesn't relate to anything. It's not a story. It's just like information that makes no sense. But Max and JV, what did you think?
Max, please.
Well, basically what Peter said, it's very interwoven with everything that Gillen is putting out. So you have to read that, otherwise it'll feel random at the start and very anticlimactic at the end.
Right. And to add to that, it's not just you have to read it not only with Rise of Powers of X. You need to read it with X-Men Forever, that other Kieran Gillen comic that's out right now. And also, you also kind of have to read what's that other one? Resurrection of Magneto, because all these things they're not they all connect. I don't know how they're gonna map it. I really don't know.
Yeah, I really try not to be the you gotta read person. Like, I think comics are meant to be just enjoyed as comics, but this comic is not meant to be enjoyed on its own. Pre-order this one if you are getting the Fall of Rise of trade. You want this. It's the bonus extra scenes of that trade.
Yeah, it's key actually. It's kind of key to read.
Yeah, same thing goes for the other two titles that Gillen is doing at the moment. Like last week had one of the issues of I think it's Rise or Forever. I don't remember what one of them starts with. You better read the other one first, because otherwise.
Yeah, it was Rise 4 and Forever 2. Basically,
so
like you have to have the other one.
Are you saying the Fall of X era is more like a big event instead of like a Red Skies event? Like,
I'd say it's an event. I'd say it's an event already.
That's a lot of books. That's 40-something books, right?
And it's coming out in a very specific week-by-week order, so it's just so weird to see them divorce them all from each other in the trades.
Yeah. But like you have the Wolverine, the Sabretooth War thing, which is still coming out, but it's taking place before the other books. And there's some of the books that don't really have anything to do with the overall arc.
Yeah. But the nice thing about the Sabretooth War is that you can read it on its own. It still works by itself compared to these other books. So
yeah, Wolverine and X-Force are not related to all this. When we say that
they're doing their own thing,
we just mean like the miniseries, the big gang of miniseries.
Gotcha. Okay. I hate series that are so connected to other series. Like, why are you forcing me to read things I have no interest in?
This is
no interest in anything, Bar. So
wait, Bart. When we did Old Reader, New Reader on Poison Ivy, I had to do a 10-minute explanation as to what happened previously to Poison Ivy. It's every comic. It's not X-Men.
I'd also say that I'd guess that if people were interested in X-Men in general, they're interested in dead X-Men. So I think that the fact that they're connected is fine.
And only people that hate X-Men are interested in dead X-Men too. That's the only comic book they want to buy with X-Men. That's the That's the point.
Yeah. They wouldn't be buying it anyway.
Make that happen. I'm still okay. I'll see what I can do.
What they really should do is they should make like trades where you have like issues from different titles, like woven into each other next. So it's a very good reading experience where you can just
what are you doing?
Read
what are
everything
you doing,
that happens.
I'm
just pitching ideas.
Stop with this nonsense.
It's a real good one. Especially
let's write that down. I'll send it over them. And hear me out. Anthology series. Call it the Fall of X.
That's a good one.
Werewolf by Night, Unholy Alliance. That is a lot of people working on this. Oh, is it a crossover with the annuals? Yeah, Werewolf by Night #1, Moon Knight Annual 1, Crypt of Shadows 1, and Crypt of Shadows 2023 #1. 144 pages, $19.99. Got Elsa there, though. I like Elsa.
Nice.
Bloodstone.
Love Elsa.
Is it the new Werewolf by Night, or is it the classic Jack Russell? Let's see. Am I going to Jack Russell face? No, it's Jack Russell. Yeah. The Invincible Iron Man, guest starring Magneto. By Jerry Duggan, Volume 3, Iron and Diamonds, collecting Invincible Iron Man 13 through 20, 184 pages, $24.99. Jerry Duggan continues to collide the worlds of Iron Man and X-Men. Yes, because he's writing both series. And Superior Spider-Man, Dan Slott, Mark Bagley, Superior Spider Island. And this collects issues 5 through 8, 112 pages, $15.99. I read the first one, and it was so ridiculous. But I dug it. I kind of dug it. I like the character Superior Spider-Man, so it was fun.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's like Slott kind of playing with loose threads that still remain. I think it's funny that it's called Superior Spider-Man when it doesn't actually have Superior Spider-Man in it. But but it's a very
He's
entertaining
there
book.
a
If
little
you
bit.
like
He's
Doc
a bit-
Ock,
Yeah,
Yeah.
He shows up in one issue, I think.
mental, yeah, kind of.
There's
Sort of.
flashbacks, right? Like there's flashbacks where he was
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
remember when I did this during my time as Superior Spider-Man.
But this is the end of the book, right? This is the end of the title. It ends at issue.
Well, there's
8.
only 8 issues?
Yeah, that's it.
Did they mean to end it, or did it get canceled?
I don't know. They just ended it, and
You're supposed to know that, Omar.
I don't get single issues though. I have no idea if it got canceled or not.
Oh, you're the home of collected editions. That's right.
That's thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that blur there.
If they ever do a Superior Spider-Man Volume 2 Omnibus, they can fill that in, I think.
I mean, there is enough material. There was stuff that wasn't in the first omnibus, right? Like what was it, the Tales of, or no, Superior Spider-Man Team Up. Thank you, Elon, for the super chat. Marvel, can we please get a Nanny omnibus?
Oh, Max is
Oh,
there.
dude, we could
Oh, yeah.
map that right now. That's easy. Not that many appearances with Nanny.
Generation X number 4.
Thank you, Curtis.
Yep.
That's your one addition to map my head.
As long as they get that one in there, I'm good.
Star Wars Thrawn Alliances 1 through 4. Return to the saga of Grand Admiral Thrawn with a comic book adaptation of the hit novel. Oh, you had me at adaptation. Oh, it's Timothy Zahn. Okay. And Andre DeVito and Pat O'Leaf. Rod Ray is doing the cover. Haven't they done this already? They've done an adaptation of one of the novels in comic book format. And I could have sworn it was the Thrawn storyline.
Yep. Those were all adaptations.
Is there a chance that new Avengers Volume 2 Omnibus will happen when Volume 1 comes out? That is up to you and your friends, Tristan. Go and pre-order that book. Because that's how we got Ultimate Spider-Man 2 and 3 and 4 coming out. Venom by Al Ewing, Volume 7. Collecting issues of Venom 31 through 34 and Carnage 5 through 6. So Ken Lashley, Juan Ferreira, Pere Perez, Torun Grombeck, and Al Ewing. 136 pages, $17.99. Is there a reason Kelly Thompson's Captain Marvel hasn't been put up for pre-order yet? I don't know what's going on with that book. The last I saw was January of 2025. I should be getting the list of more 2025, like February to what? Is it July, I think? Next week, I think. Because I gotta do a couple of recordings for announcements of other things, but that should be coming soon. Oh, this one's interesting. The What If Aliens, because Paul Reiser is writing the story along with Leon Reiser. Is that Leon his son or his brother? I don't know. But it's the character of Burke. And the actor that played Burke is writing the comic book.
Yeah, this has been a funny book. It's actually the funniest alien book I've ever read.
What if Carter?
Are there other funny aliens books?
Yeah,
I do like the ones where they talk. Like those always creep me out. I haven't read this. How you said it was a funny book?
Yeah, it's surprisingly funny, and it's the first time you actually see that in the first issue. You get to see the characters from Aliens, and I don't think they've ever made an official Marvel debut. Like Ripley's there, Hicks is there. They show up. I mean,
what?
Yeah,
because all we've seen is the adaptations from the Dark Horse comics, which of course have been reprinted in the Omnibus and Epic Collection.
And here,
but this is modern Marvel. That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Paul Reiser's a comedian. Yes, he is. He was also in Mad About You. Game. It could be good. It could be a good read. Or it could be.
He's got a lot of writers backing up.
Marvel loves to cancel a Kelly Thompson book. I'm worried Volume 2 isn't going to actually happen. What hashtag fake news always an instigator? When have we canceled a Kelly Thompson book?
That's happening.
What are we talking about? This is how rumors get started, man. Jess will take it to his channel, Why Marvel Hates Kelly Thompson, and that's the end of that. Spider-Man, Deadpool. Oh, Curtis, get in here. What is this?
This is the Spider-Man Deadpool Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 2. It's called Till Death Do Us, which was a massive crossover with all of the Deadpool titles at the time. Spider-Man Deadpool 15-16 and Deadpool 28-29 and Deadpool and the Mercs for Money 9 and 10. And this has issues that were skipped in the first Epic Collection because of it just had a messed up scheduling issue when it was first published. So they're putting it in proper story order now.
Thank you for that, Curtis. Venom. This is your favorite era of Venom, Jess. But Curtis, tell me about it.
What? I haven't even read this. Fake news, you liar.
Just because you're yelling, it doesn't mean that it is fake. Curtis, tell me about
Never
this.
read this, you jerk.
So the very first modern era Venom collection, which has the series by Daniel Way, the 18-issue series, where the symbiote doesn't have a host at the moment, so he's kind of running around.
Yes. So if you've seen The Thing, it's practically The
Yes.
Thing with the Venom symbiote.
Yeah.
Starring Wolverine sometimes.
This was part of an initiative they launched called Marvel Tsunami,
Mm-hmm.
and
right.
it was to try and get a little bit more of the manga influence into Western comics.
There's
was
also
one of
that
the few-
Submariner Tsunami series.
Yep, it's one of the few survivors. Sentinel, even though it was Iron Giant, still a really good read. And of course, Runaways. What was the other one? Mystique and that was relaunched.
Yeah,
as
Mystique
Tsunami.
and Human Torch.
Human Torch. That was
Yep.
it.
A lot of decompressed storytelling here. Ugh.
And yes, the greatest era of Iron Man. This is during the crossing. Curtis, what's going on here? Why does Iron Man look so young? What's up?
Why does he look so young? Yeah, so this is volume 22. We already have volume 21, which is called The Crossing, and that was just half of the story. So this is the other half. In fact, not even half. It's like the last few issues, and
Mhm.
bringing us up to the end of Iron Man's first series, right at Onslaught. So yeah, he's a kid in this one. You can see on the back cover there.
Kid
Big
Iron
story.
Man.
Yep. So if we do get a volume 23, it'll be Heroes Reborn.
Do you think they'll rebrand it? We haven't talked about that,
Probably.
Curtis. I haven't talked to you in forever, man. How have you been?
Been really busy with
I can tell.
making books.
Usually you hit me up, you're like, hey man, what's up? And I'm like, nothing, man. What's up with you? And then we catch up, and I haven't heard from you in like a month. So I'm really surprised you're here. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad to be
Why do
here.
you hurt me, Omar? Get that nonsense off of my skin. That is the greatest Iron Man run. That's the blurb on the back from the Uncanny Omar. The Crossing. Moon Knight, Epic Collection, The Trial of Mark Spector, Volume 5. So this continues the 90s Moon Knight series. Curtis?
Yeah, we jumped ahead to volume 7, I think, because the omnibus had come out. But now I guess the selling period is over, and so they're going back to volume 5, The Trial of Mark Spector. And yeah, this one has issues 8 to 25. So this is the second volume of the Mark Spector Moon Knight content.
Mm-hmm. So you have the Chuck Dixon era. Howard Mackey does the it was the Punisher issues in here. Can't Mike Barron, I think that the Punisher annual with that's the first time they meet.
With Moon Knight, that's a Atlantis Attacks chapter, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right. No, you are right. The reprint of Fantastic Four Epic Collection Volume 1 is coming out that day, or this October.
Yeah, I'm
So-
expecting that this one will have the new scans that they are using in the Masterworks.
Mhm.
So people might want an upgrade, and I'm guessing that they'll also probably change the logo on the front cover, as they've been doing with a lot of these reprints, to give us a more comic accurate logo, or era appropriate logo, I mean.
Omar asked Curtis to read What Is This because he's too lazy to read this. I'm just thinking people are tired of hearing my voice, and Curtis only came here for one reason.
Yeah, it's Curtis's time to shine.
Come on, let me have my moment.
Hey, don't yell at my audience, Curtis. I already have to get on Omnidog. Fantastic Four, Volume 10. This is a new one.
Yeah, Counter Earth Must Die, Volume 10. Moving through the 70s pretty quick here. We're going to be at the John Byrne era in no time. This is a big one, 512 pages. And what does it collect here? 168 to 191 plus Annual 11 and Marvel 2 and 1 20 and Annual 1. That was a big crossover story. And material from Marvel Treasury Edition number 11. So that's jam-packed with stuff. This is a cool period because Luke Cage becomes a member of the Fantastic Four in these issues. Only for a few issues, but it's still kind of cool to see the two powerhouses on the team at the same time.
And my math could be a little off, but I feel like the reason to rush to get this epic out is because this would be some of the material in the next sequential omnibus. And surely we will get the next sequential omnibus when the movie comes out. So it's like that constant dance, right? Curtis, of like, is the epic going to come first or is the omnibus going to come first? We just saw it go the opposite way on Moon Knight. Here it's like, here's our chance. Let's get further in the epic collections before we cut it off at the knees with an omnibus.
But they've it's not really rushed because they've been doing it very consistently, one of these older 1960s, 1970s volumes per year. And so last year, Volume 9 came out, and this year, Volume 10. So who knows if they'll jump around a little bit later.
Less of a rush and more of a well-executed plan, which is sometimes rare to see from Marvel.
Yeah.
So many epics. Incredible Hulk Epic Collection, Man or Monster. Go ahead, Curtis.
This is another one where I think that they'll have new scans for some of the art that they've replaced in the remaster works. And I've seen a picture of the cover of this one with a new logo on it, so I'm pretty sure it's getting a new logo as well.
I would say so, because they've been replacing the logos on the older ones. Venom, the Saga of Eddie Brock, collecting Amazing Spider-Man 300, 315 to 317, 374, Trial of Venom number 1. That is a very interesting one to collect in here. That's the Peter David. I think that was the mail away book. An Amazing Spider-Man 375. Go ahead.
Yeah, the one I just remember that one because the cover, he's got a massive jaw, like the biggest jaw, even bigger than Eric Larson would do.
Yes, that one's $24.99, 192 pages.
Do I have that in Venom Omnibus 2, Omar?
This is not in Venom Omnibus. This is actually in the Amazing Spider-Man by Michelini and McFarlane, and this right here will be in the Amazing Spider-Man by Michelini and Bagley. Trial of Venom 1 is in your Venom Omnibus Volume 1, Jess. You're good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Curtis, please do me the honor of telling me why the epics are superior. Go ahead, Curtis. You got 1 minute.
No, I would, but we don't have. I want to keep it to under 2 hours. So,
did you? All right. Did you bring graphs with you this time? Okay.
Yeah, I got my PowerPoint presentation.
I know my buddy Peter's a huge fan of Power Pack, so I'm gonna let him talk about this book.
So this is actually a digest-size initial collection of Power Pack Into the Storm, which is a just concluded mini-series by the original Power Pack creative team of Louise Simonson and June Brigman. It fits in very well with Power Pack, the original series. It is not the modern characters. They are not their current ages. It's actually set at the time that Storm has both a mohawk and powers, which is a pretty slim period of Storm's continuity. So that means it has to happen in the early 180s of X-Men, although there are a couple of continuity problems that makes that impossible, but it's still a very adorable story. So if you really like the original Power Pack, if you like these kids being kids, if you like Franklin Richards when he was a toddler with a speech impediment, that is the zone of Power Pack that we're in here. And it's June Brigman's art is just so lovely, but don't expect like a big, mature, modern read. It's very much Power Pack getting kidnapped repeatedly by Snarks and held hostage, and then breaking out, and then being kidnapped by Brood, and then being held hostage, and then getting out. It's a kid's book, but it's really beautiful.
I see Frank is hanging out with them.
Yeah. It's very much when Franklin was the unofficial 5th member of the Power Pack.
Tattletale. He was going by Tattletale back then.
Here we go with more fake news from Bar. Didn't know Power Pack fans exist. Isn't their omnibus like one of the worst selling omnis ever? Like nobody bought it.
Wow, Bar, a team with 2 female members and you're not reading it? I don't know. That sounds really out of character for you.
Sounds a little sexist, I would say.
Sounds out of touch, yeah.
Yeah. You need to get your
Female creators too.
Yeah, all female creators. Seems like the kind of book Bar usually supports.
Yeah, I'm just really sad to hear this from her.
Yeah.
I figure she would should be better about this.
People should give Power Pack. The original series is really excellent. It's just a wonderful, wonderful book from start to finish. Well, maybe not to finish, but at least the earliest stuff.
I will say I had a lot of fun with it when I was reading it and revisiting it in omnibus format. I don't know if I would say excellent. I'd say it's good. You know, it's good. It definitely had its moments. And if you're a kid, I think it's really fun to like resonate with the kids that are going through kid problems too, as well as being superheroes and being jealous of each other's powers. And then remember when they did the power switch and they're like, "Oh man, I wanted to turn into a fog." Marvel vs. Scarlet
Witch would be too immature for my daughter who's 10 now and likes Claremont X-Men. We're into like Onslaught era X-Men, loves it, but there's just something
what?
about
what
X-Men. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's
no, I heard that.
We're talking about Kid Crisis.
Kid Crisis is X-Men. Oh, I love that.
But then Kid Crisis also loves like original Power Pack. And I always think, oh, is it going to be too mature? It's just kids. They're just having kid problems. But like to a 10-year-old, it's really exciting to see kids who have agency to have their own adventures. And I think that's why Power Pack like really resonates with younger readers.
Did you say likes Onslaught?
Well, she likes the X-Men in the Onslaught era. We'll see. Okay. We'll see if she actually likes Onslaught.
She's just Kid Crisis. Let her like what she likes. It's all right.
Okay, Grandpa. I'll let her like.
Hey, easy.
Marvel vs.
Kid Crisis.
Okay, hashtag stand up for Kid Crisis.
That's right.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to bully her into liking good.
Yeah, you're on the air.
Marvel vs. Scarlet Witch. Collecting X-Men First Class number 9, Marvel 2 and 166, Doctor Strange 60, Vision and Scarlet Witch 5, and material from X-Men First Class 3-6, Marvel Team Up 125, and Women of Marvel number 1, 120 pages, $9.99. This is the little digest size books, by the way. It's like your introduction to the character. Any reason why you all would think, wait, why is Venom back there? That doesn't make sense. It's like a McFarlane Venom. Why they would release this now? Is she going to be in that Agatha Harkness series? They usually tend to release these with movie or TV shows.
I'm sure the Harkness series might make reference, and it absolutely mentions Agatha in the solicit text here. So maybe it's just spillover interest from Agatha.
I think better than the entire Claremont run. Look, don't allow hate speech on my channel. That's your one warning, Ryan Wilson. You don't even get a warning next time. You're just out of here. Who is this? What is going on? Preach, brother.
Uh-oh.
All right.
So it looks like if they've picked issues here like Marvel 2 and 1, that's the Serpent Crown. Doctor Strange 60 has the Darkhold. Vision of Scarlet Witch 5 is not the birth of her children. What happens in that one? I can't remember, but all of them I think are related to elements I think that we're going to be seeing in Harkness or whatever coming up soon.
There's something else that somebody's Vision Quest series is going to start filming later. Also, I thought, is that a done thing? I thought it was just up in the air right now. I haven't seen. I'm just waiting for one of those Feige announcements. Like these are the movies and TV shows that are coming. Yeah, we promise. Kids like Jar Jar. Let them like Slot. I guess. That is true. That is true. Okay. At this moment, if you live in Europe and you're interested in purchasing any of these books, check out Walt's Comic Shop. They're based out of Berlin, Germany. They have flat shipping rates for 12 euros for all EU countries. Emails answered within 24 hours. And if you use the code nearmintcondition, all one word at the checkout, you get free shipping for all EU countries. Your first order of over 40 euros or more. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ting. There we go. All right, let's go back to the beginning and talk about, give you a quick rundown in case you missed it, and then we're going to talk about our books we're most excited for. Micronauts Volume 3 is coming out with 3 different covers. New Avengers Omnibus, the new printing, as well as X-Force Omnibus Volume 1 getting a new printing. The Daredevil finishing out Chip Zdarsky's run. Omnibus Volume 2, Marvel The End Omnibus, 2 different covers. Secret Wars Omnibus, and if there's anything you all want me to go back to, please let me know. The Deadpool and Wolverine slipcase, The Art of the Movie, and the Star Wars Legends, The Empire Omnibus Volume 3, and Marvel Masterworks Marvel Team Up Volume 8, and Mighty Thor Volume 23, and Deadpool and Wolverine World War 3 trade paperback, and Ultimate Black Panther Volume 1. I got the seal of approval from Crisis.
No, it didn't. Lies.
I believe it did. Spectacular Spider-Man.
That got the seal of approval.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was zoning out. Spectacular Spider-Man Volume 1. And She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell. I believe that was JV seal of approval. X-Force by Benjamin Piercy. I think it was Omnidog.
Omnidog.
That's me.
Scarlet Witch, Steve Orlando, Volume 3. And Night Thrasher was definitely Omnidog seal of approval. Remix. Dead X-Men, but you must read other things that JV, Max, and Peter were talking about. Werewolf by Night, Unholy Alliance, The Invincible Iron Man, Volume by Jerry Duggan, Volume 3, Superior Spider-Man, Volume 2, Superior Spider Island, and Thrawn Alliances. And what else is there? Venom, by Al Ewing, Volume 7, as well as What If Aliens, which JV said that was really good. Spider-Man, Deadpool, Modern Era, Till Death Do Us Part. Venom, this is the one, my bad. Modern Era, Epic Collection, Shiver. And Iron Man, Epic Collection, Age of Innocence. Moon Knight, Epic, Volume 5. Fantastic Four getting a new printing with a Volume 1 and a Volume 10. And Incredible Hulk getting a new printing, Volume 1. Venom, The Saga of Eddie Brock, and Power Pack, Into the Storm, and Scarlet Witch Marvel Verse. Now, I ask my panel always, and of course everybody in the chat that's watching, what's the one book you're most excited for? I'm going to go from top to bottom. Curtis, what's the one epic, or maybe an omnibus this time, that you're most excited for?
It's a hard choice because all of those epic collections I think are not ones that I'm incredibly thrilled about, but I have started reading the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider stuff recently, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'll go with that epic collection there, the the Moon Knight epic collection, because of is Ghost Rider on the cover? Now I'm blanking.
Moon Knight Epic 5 does have Ghost Rider on the cover, brother.
Yeah. So I'm digging that era of and that style of stuff right now. So I'm gonna go with that Moon Knight epic collection.
Okay. Hey, Near Me Condition, I really like your channel here at home, working and watching you. I do inks for Marvel, and I'm currently on the Wolverine vs. Sabretooth series with artist Corey Smith. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
Great work, Aaron.
Thank you so much. Why don't you ink my head in the background somewhere, like Wolverine?
For a good channel, go to Omnidog's
in that series. Just a Omar head.
Just my head floating back there. What about you, Peter? What's the book you're most excited for out of this catalog?
You are on the page. I think it is also the Moon Knight Epic Collection. I enjoy 90s Moon Knight. Since I'm not really an omnibus person, outside of X books, like this is my chance to get.
This is just hurting.
And I just really like this run. In terms of things I'm excited for people to read, I hope people are going to give Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver a chance, and I hope people are going to enjoy the quip fest that is Spectacular Spider-Man, because that's just really pleases me. I think people who are not digging the Zeb Wells run should just switch over and read Spectacular Spider-Man instead.
Okay. Max, what about you, buddy?
Well, it's two. It's also the Moon Knight epic because I collect that line.
What's happening here?
In a row.
And X-Force Omni because I don't
Volume
have that
1. Okay. Yeah. Why that one in particular?
Yeah, why?
because I'm tired of waiting for the first epic to get reprinted.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. I'm one of these people that love this era. Like this was my New Mutants was turning into X-Force as I was going from the 8th grade into high school. So this era really spoke to me. I wasn't going to become a militant type of high schooler, but there were changes happening, in my personal life and then in the comics. So I thought that was really cool that this was happening. So yeah, I dig this era. And Liefeld stuck around the book until what was it, 10? Was that his final issue? And then Mark Pacella took over the book. And then, of course, we got Greg Capullo coming in issue number 16. So that would be collected in the next omnibus. Terry Schumacher, I think, was also the other artist. JV, what about you, buddy?
Oh, you just went to it right there. The Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky Omnibus. That book, I love that. I loved that title when it was still on, and it was always at the top of my list, especially Devil's Reign and the second volume of Daredevil. Yeah, that's my book.
Guys, stop saying Moon Knight. It's gonna go out of print within the first week. Curtis driving the FOMO in people. Omnidog, what's the book you're most excited for?
Well, that would be She-Hulk, which is not a manga. Blah! She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell.
What's wrong with manga, Jess?
I don't like I can't read it. So that's why I read She-Hulk, because I can read it if it's manga. And I will say Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. I'm digging that. Words I didn't think I'd ever say. I'm digging that Steve Orlando writing on Scarlet Witch. It's epic. I love it. So I'm looking forward to this. He's got this character, and the whole thing just is really good. He's got the character nailed down.
Oh man, this one's tough. I in another universe, I would have said Micronauts, the original Marvel Years, Omnibus Volume 3. But in this universe, I'm going to actually go with something I've never chosen in one of these streams, and that is where is it? Right there. Marvel Masterworks.
Oh, with the original coloring.
Yeah, I'm curious to see it in the original colors. I used to have the single issues, and it's been years since I've had those. I had the Visionaries, which the Visionaries did have the original colors, I want to say, but I haven't had those.
It did.
I haven't had those in years, so I'm really, really looking forward to this. It's such an awesome era, and then you come in strong with the introduction of Beta Ray Bill. Oh yeah, I'm there. I'm there for that. Yeah, it's good. All right, let's see what the people in the chat have said. Everybody but Bar. Can you go back to when Jess actually read Omnis and not OHCs? Hashtag OHC.
I just read a couple Omnis. I read 2 X Factor Omnis back to back.
Whoa, man!
Yeah.
You're about to meet your quota. That's half your quota for the year. That's pretty good. All right, let's see here. Aliens, What If? X-Force, Omni, Micronauts, Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky. Okay, Bar actually has an answer here. And will one day start that Scarlet Witch?
Oh, yeah, Bar, you really need to read that.
Micronauts and Shogun Warriors Complete Collection. Well, none of those are real, so... Daredevil, Zdarsky, 2 Spectacular Spider-Man. When are we getting more Muppets? Curtis?
What are we expecting? Like new material or another omnibus? Isn't that already
maybe
Omni?
Muppets Epic Collections, Curtis? Why didn't you answer with that? That's where you go next. Werewolf by Night, Fantastic Four, Epic 10, Micronauts Omni, the best Avengers era. Warren, you cracked me up. Okay, I just had to highlight that. Daredevil, Chip Zdarsky. Volume 1 comes out this July, and Volume 2 comes out by end of year. New Avengers Volume 1, Beta Ray, baby. Yes, the people yearn for Moon Knight. Both FF Epics, the home of Epic Collection fans. Still. Spectacular Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Boy, Symbiote, Spider-Man 2099, and Spider-Woman are keeping us Spider fans happy as we ignore Mason. Wow, you're old. Hey, don't insult my panel like that, Bar. Fantastic Four, Epic 10, Rom Epic 1. Where are you people living in?
They're all Canadians. They love epics.
Thor, Marvel Masterworks. Yes. And Omni Dog, Steve Orlando's biggest fan. Daredevil Volume 2. He's a nice guy, by the way. Steve Orlando.
I am now. Guy. I love
Daredevil Volume 2 and New Avengers 1 for me. Is that the universe where you already know? I dug the most recent Steve Orlando 2099 stuff with the monsters. Wasn't that crazy about the previous 2099 stuff? Just to treat manga like the backwards episode of Seinfeld. Problem solved. Daredevil by Zdarsky and Secret Wars. Peter has better hair than Rogue, drawn by Jen Bartel. Ow! Whoa, Peter!
Wow.
Now we're talking about artists who draw really good hair. That's a good one. Jen Bartel.
Compliment.
You're making him blush. Marvel Masterworks, Venom, Epics, Micronauts, Daredevil, Secret Wars, and New Avengers. Zdarsky's Daredevil takes a bad taste of his Batman run away.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
My wife really likes
starting his Batman. That's not a good feeling.
No,
Micronauts,
wrong.
I hate the Peter Gillis era, but Peter Gillis wrote most of this. He finishes out that era. Bruce, you're gonna be conflicted. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the catalog. Thank you again, Marvel, for sending this our way. This will be available everywhere here in a couple of weeks. So what do you guys want to talk about now? You guys want to talk about feelings or
She-Hulk gives me good feelings.
Oh, well, good, man. You are going on about She-Hulk. Have you ever enjoyed She-Hulk, a She-Hulk run this much? Or is this the first time that you're like, man, She-Hulk's a good character?
No, I've always liked She-Hulk. I have actually all the Omnis, and I have the Charles Soule collection. She's always been a favorite character of mine, but I do like this slice of life thing. And what is it, Jack of Hearts? I never even heard of that guy, but their relationship is really sweet. I really dig it.
He's been around for a while. He's got enough for a
miniseries in the 1980s.
He did.
I missed it.
And he's made 150 appearances. Why I know this, I cannot say. But
he plays a big role in the new Avengers Disassemble.
Yeah.
Well, and that's addressed in She-Hulk, where she's like, I don't know if we want to tell everybody that you're back.
Oh, this is a good question. JV, tell us your favorite X-Men era and make sure it makes Omar mad.
Claremont all the way, man. Claremont.
That's right, baby. Claremont. Omar, glad New Avengers got is solicited here. Any update when Guardians Bendis 2 Omni? We're missing that and Kelly Thompson Volume 2, but Always an Instigator has inside knowledge that Marvel hates Kelly Thompson or something like that is what he was saying.
No.
Yeah, I don't know where that one is. That and I think Kelly Thompson Volume 2 are the two that are missing. I'll double check and then I'll ask Marvel. They might. I assume there's still January, though. There's enough next month to go into the January 2025. Should I stick with X-Force on Epics or Omnis? Do we have a chance of X-Force Omnibus from the Adam Polina years? Oh, man, that's a little bit away, right? Because we still have to go through. Where are we on X-Force? X-Force 3 would be the Tony Danielle run. Oh, no, Adam Polina is the next one. And Kevin Lau.
Yeah, we're up to like 43.
Yeah, it would be in Volume 4. I really, really hope, and I hate this for people that have them already, but I really hope that they do reprint Deadpool and X-Force and make it a X-Force Volume 2, and Cable and X-Force and make it a X-Force Volume 3, and then giving us an X-Force 4. That would be awesome.
That's what you rearranged when you visited me.
I did.
My X-Force.
Do you think
Put
that's
it all over.
Do you think that's the only way that they would do X-Force 4? Because they wouldn't do an X-Force by Adam Paulino, would they?
No, I don't think he has enough of a. I mean, I love his artwork, but I don't know how many people know him by name. And honestly, I don't even know what has he been doing lately.
So in terms of branding the name of the book,
oh
they
yeah,
have
I
to
mean,
come up.
if you look at the books, it's Deadpool and X-Force, it's Cable and X-Force. If you name it Adam Paulina and X-Force, people are gonna be like, "Who's this character? Why is he hanging out
But
with
then they
X-Force?"
can't just put out an X-Force Volume 4 because there hasn't been a Volume 2 or 3.
Not on the shelf. And honestly, that Volume 1 that gets reprinted already has the numerical 1 down there. So yeah, I'm hoping that's what they do. I don't know if that's what they'll do or not.
Hey, is that Deadpool and X-Force? Is that an omnibus or an OHC?
Deadpool and both of those are omnis. Deadpool and
Omnibus.
X-Force and Cable and X-Force are both omnis. Is there enough solo stuff for a Beta Ray Bill omnibus?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, include the Daniel Warren Johnson book.
That should be something. That should be a treasury edition. That book.
The Daniel Warren Johnson?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I totally agree. That is such a fun book.
I tried reading Uncanny X-Men. I'm convinced Omar trolled us all to try to read the most unreadable comic ever. What are you talking about?
Is he talking about the Claremont stuff?
You're so bad at trolling. Cable and X-Force Omnibus Volume 2. No, that would be so confusing. And especially since Cable doesn't really, because he's kind of doing his own thing by that point. He kind of leaves X-Force alone.
Because it's the road trip era, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Guys, do you think there'll be deluxe for new Transformers? Oh yeah, Kirkman loves his deluxe editions. Those will come out. We are getting the first trade paperback of the first 6 issues this month, so it probably at the earliest it won't be until 2025, and even then I don't know. And anyone else excited for the Count Nefaria Marvel Legends figure? Guys, not everyone at once.
Sure.
Please, not everyone at once. I'm excited for you.
I have a Marvel adjacent thing. Somebody in the chat, and I'd have to scroll up to find it, just pointed out that there's a Kickstarter teaser project for Skybound doing G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero compendium set, a definitive hardcover collection of the original G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. I guess that answers our question of if we could ever get any Marvel omnibuses of it, because Skybound is on the case.
Well, compendiums are also standard size.
But hardcover. Oh, they're the like.
Well,
these,
do you have the Skybound?
Like
yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't. But
Why?
I honestly don't know if that's the route they're going to take. They claim they're going to do everything, because remember that G.I. Joe Transformers series is also a part of that G.I. Joe continuity, and a big part of G.I. Joe or Transformers Generation 2. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And I don't like the fact that they're taking it to Kickstarter, though. That to me is just,
it's kind of in vogue right now. Boom is doing it a lot. They're taking
Boom's the one that started it.
I mean, Boom is like abusing it at this point, I feel like. And then Silvestri does it all the time, just kick off all of those Witchblade.
Well, I mean, it's what happens, right? Like
one
company does it and the other ones follow suit, and they're like, hey,
it's kind of
Dynamite's been doing
one of the main. One of the big reasons for it is that, especially for the smaller publishers, is that they just get the revenue. And publishing is really hard right now. And when you have to get a book into stores and you split it with the distributor, you split it with the retailer and such, it leaves very, very little for the actual publisher to make more books. And so by getting it on Kickstarter, where they do that all of themselves, and they can get more of the revenue, it helps pay for their employees and pay for more projects in the future.
I am all for small publishers doing this. I am all for people that are trying to publish their books doing this. And I think that's the point to me of Kickstarters. But having Mark Waid on irredeemable Kickstarter just made no sense to me. Like Giant Days, I get. Lumberjanes, sure. But Mark Waid is a big enough name that you should have, you should have faith in your product. Just like G.I. Joe and Transformers. The fans are there. Like, I don't understand why they're going that route.
Well, let me offer kind of maybe a middle ground there, which is that so many of us had said for so long, we wish we could just deal directly like with Marvel. Like I remember you and I back in the day would joke, couldn't we just be on an Omnibus of the Month club? Like, why do we need to go through all this diamond or anything? Can't we just give Marvel our credit card number and just have them ship the omnibuses to us every month? And publishers don't want to take on that direct responsibility, but Kickstarter is just a way to like kind of have that direct relation with fans, have a fulfillment that connects to a pre-order system that they don't have to manage and lets them kind of like get closer to fans. I still think it's weird because you're still like at a remove, like it's not your system. So you've got to do a little bit of legwork to like get the fan email addresses and like make a list and maintain contact. But it does kind of make sense to me from that perspective, because it's like taking out this middleman of the direct market, which I know we want local comic book stores to do well, but a lot of people like me have no local comic book store, live abroad, have a way easier time just buying things directly from publishers. And like Kickstarter is a good thing for some of us. So it's, it's interesting. I kind of like that they're making a way for fans to just support their properties directly without getting involved in the whole previews, direct market, 3 months pre-order, fill out a pre-order form thing, because it's arcane, especially for fans of something like G.I. Joe or Lumberjanes who don't want to know anything about that world.
After I said I would never do Kickstarters again, I've already got The Art of Russell Dauterman and The Art of David Nakayama. Thank you, Curtis. I know that you're hard on the case right there. I also got the stickers with the Russ. That was the whole reason I got the Dauterman Kickstarter, was those stickers. I can't wait to get those. And
I'm really excited with the Dauterman. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, I'm actually working on a book. I'm the editor of that book, which is pretty cool. The Dauterman art book.
Wow.
We're working together on that one. And I'm making a set of 40 trading cards based on his trading card covers. We're getting them to actual trading card size.
Why would you do that?
There's even some trading cards that haven't been made into covers yet, and it's going to be there's going to be like the 9 cards that form one big picture and that kind of thing. So pretty cool stuff. But it's on Kickstarter. We're doing a Kickstarter for that one, and people are like, "Well, Marvel doesn't need to do Kickstarters," but it's a licensed book. It's not a Marvel published book. It's by Clover Press.
I've been really curious about that.
Oh, the Dauterman one and the Nakayama one both look awesome. I'm really excited for both of those.
Yeah, so Nakayama, really I think he gave his seal of approval yesterday for it. So I think we're going to be shipping it off. It's got to go through one more round of Marvel approvals, I think, and then we're sending it off to the printer. It's so hard to get a book published with a licensed property because Marvel is so picky about stuff. It goes through layers and layers and layers of approval. It's just ridiculous.
I believe it.
And I did Lumberjanes
license. I'm still thinking about Lumberjanes after the whole Giant Days thing, and they messed up the books so they don't line up with my previous Giant Days collections. But I was like, whatever. It didn't bother me much. I do find it interesting that they are doing that. They're going that route. Dynamite's doing the same thing with like Gargoyles and Terminator. I had Greg Weisman on to talk about Gargoyles, and he brought up something really interesting because I always wondered, okay, Gargoyles it was niche, but I think like it's kind of had a huge fan following for a while now. As far as I can tell, we have toys now, and he said in order for Disney to see just how many people are interested, they don't need to see how much, because he was like, when he came on my stream, he was like, I don't care, like we've already gone way past what we need to for funding this project. It's more about how many people are interested in the project. That will get the eyes of like somebody like Disney to kind of greenlight a new series of Gargoyles, a new animated series, not a new comic book series. Because he says if enough people are interested, then they're like, hey, wait a minute, there's this whole corner of the internet that is interested in this franchise from the 90s that we probably need to talk about some more. So I found that really interesting why he decided to go the Kickstarter route. And he's the guy that's also writing the Spider-Man or the Spectacular Spider-Man book.
Yeah, it is interesting. A lot of the publishers will focus more on the number of backers rather than the actual dollar amount, because the dollar amount, there's so many different variables like the add-ons or what shipping is included or all that kind of stuff. But to know that a solid like 2,000 people are putting money on the table before the book comes out, like that's numbers you don't get. I mean, you get pre-order numbers and that kind of stuff, but it's different. It's different coming from people who are putting that money up front. And it shows, and he's exactly right. It's like that will determine what gets published in the future or their plans of actions based on those numbers.
JV, you make your own comics.
Yep.
How do you guys do crowdsourcing, or like what do you guys do down there to publish your books?
Well, the thing is that when I print my books, I kind of estimated it when based on the numbers that are online, and the thing is I can't do print on demand or anything like that. So, and I want to make sure that I'm also balancing it with the cost, with my price point. So, and the printers only allow me, okay, you can only print a certain amount, and then you can get it from at this unit cost.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
And I'm limited to that. So, doesn't matter. I mean, I got the smallest number, just to get a good price point, but that's it. That's all I could do. So yeah, I'm really beholden to the printer. So even if there is a smaller demand, I have no choice but to print a set amount.
Where do you get it printed? Is it printed in the Philippines, or are you printing it elsewhere?
In the Philippines, and the nice thing is that they've had experience with printing comics already, so they know it's not it's not like in other cases where they have to find their way, because with comics it's especially like a 22 pager, you got to make sure that you have that set page limit. It has to be divisible by 8 usually, right?
If only there was someone here to talk about self-publishing, Omar. I did. I asked JV. He self-publishes.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant your book, Josh. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's even got your name on the back.
Yeah, that's my Christian name, not my YouTube name. Uncanny Omar.
Hey, cool.
Spelled it right too. Peter, anything else you wanted to talk about today, buddy?
No, man. I think there's a lot of great stuff in this Marvel book. It's just I've started reading some DC right now, Dawn of DC, because I had to get educated for our DC poll. And I just am really interested to see where Marvel goes in terms of publishing strategy the next few years. As I've been updating guides, I really realized Fresh Start was the last big epochal start of an era. And that was around this time in 2018. So this has been 6 years of Marvel kind of sitting in one era without a really bold banner of or a restart of all of their books at once, which we do kind of say is annoying when it happens a lot, but 6 years is as long as Marvel has gone without one of these publishing initiatives since the early aughts. Even, if you look back then, there was Heroic Age and there was kind of Siege crossing over across everything. So it's just really interesting. I'm kind of wondering what Marvel's plan is, because it just feels like a lot of miniseries, a lot of short 12-issue series. And I'm just kind of wondering where we're going to be going at the end of 2024 and the end of 2025, especially since it seems like a big X-Men relaunch is a good stake in the ground to be like, oh yeah, we're going to relaunch a lot of stuff. But there's a lot of things that are kind of in the middle of their runs right now, like Amazing Spider-Man, like Philip Kennedy Johnson's Hulk. So I don't know. I'm kind of just interested to see what Marvel's strategy is because I've been seeing a lot of excitement about DC strategy right now. And, it's kind of like one feasts and one famines a lot of the time with Marvel and DC.
When did CB Sobolski start? 2018?
When did what?
When did
CB
CB
Sobolski
Sobolski start as EIC?
I'm not sure.
Was it 2018? Something
I
around
thought,
that.
I thought it was before 2018. But you're probably right. The DC poll, we haven't announced that yet because I gotta actually meet with Peter sometime today. This is I was a C2E2 last week and I'm catching up with everything, and this was my busy week. But I think right now, knock on wood, I'm okay. I gotta do one more edit on a Marvel video. But I need to talk to him about what needs to be made and reach out to a couple people that volunteered to help put books together. So we're hoping sometime this month. Remember to go and vote for your most wanted DC Omnibus reprint, though, in Absolute Edition. But we are hoping sometime here in May that we get to do this on a Sunday. If everything goes according to plan, because we are what, the 2nd? It's my mom's birthday. It's the 2nd of the month, and we are maybe looking at the 19th to kick it off, if everything goes okay.
I need Peter released from the DC Omnibus, the DC reprint poll, so I can have him back on my show to talk about X-Men. He's too busy with your stuff. What the hell? Okay, I'm done.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
It's an interesting way to plug your show. Peter, come pick my books at
Omni Dog's Vault. Peter M. soon to be coming.
Omni Dog's Vault. I don't know what the hell I'm buying, so I need other people to fix my books for me.
That's right. It's the FOMO episode. We've been getting people all crazy about it. They want Peter back.
Call your mom, Omar. It's nice she lets you use her bacon. I did. I called her first thing this morning.
This was Patty's mom's birthday too.
Yeah, May 2nd is my buddy Rob's birthday as well. And so let me look and make sure. Team Jesse. Oh, can we please start calling you that? Jesse? Oh, it's on now.
Oh, you mother.
I didn't come up with it. Your boy did.
My boy.
Sometimes it's very early here and I don't know all the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Jesse. Good afternoon, you all. X-Men 97 episode 8. Oh, yes.
Oh, I gotta catch up on that.
That was awesome.
It's good.
It
Had
was
one of the
good.
best
It
moments
was a
with
good one.
Wolvie and Nightcrawler. It's great.
Yeah.
Is everybody
Yeah.
enjoying it? Are you guys all enjoying it?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Uncle
One of the best
Jesse.
things Marvel's done.
Oh, I like Uncle Jesse even more.
Omar.
I'm just reading what the chat is saying. You can't blame me for this one. New to lean into the Shakespeare of the first Thor movie, and he needs to do it for Gargoyles too. It'll work. Are they making a Gargoyles movie? Or a TV show? I didn't know about that. Bumblebee director has confirmed by Deadline to be making the live-action He-Man movie.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's official.
Oh, God. I wish them luck. Good journey. As they said in the Masters of the Universe.
John Cena as He-Man.
Please no. Please no. Give me an unknown. Omar, any idea how Peter David is doing? Melanie and I check on him from time to time. Well, on his wife's updates. The last update I saw was that his wife said he was laughing.
Yeah.
And that really filled her heart up because she had heard him laugh in a long time. So that was good. That's a good thing. And that is the Peter David GoFundMe right there. Live action, really? Okay. Gargoyles? There was already was it a German Gargoyles film in the 80s? Or maybe it was in the 70s. John Cena is a great actor. I know, but I get enough of John Cena. Give me an unknown dude that just likes to work out, and give me Dolph Lundgren. I need Ezra Miller to play He-Man. All right, y'all are ridiculous. Are we going to get an update on the Juggernaut? I don't think they can do that, because what's funny is my wife and I love that video. First of all, we've loved it since way before YouTube was YouTube, and we went to look for it the other day, And the same video that's been around for 15 plus years, or however many years has been around now on YouTube, they had to blur out faces. So I wonder if that was like their loophole of like legal action of, hey, take this video down that's been monetized for years, and because you're using property of Marvel and Disney. So I don't know. Oh yes, we also have another video, Peter. Don't forget. Batman. The Batman.
Oh, yes.
Omnibus.
The Evergreen is coming back. They're making me read DC. That's why I'm so busy that I can't hang out with my good friend Omnidog, because I'm chained.
That's why you're so busy.
I'm chained to the DC collected editions right now.
I don't think I've
a worthy
changed.
cause.
But that will be on May 23rd at 6:30 p.m. It's the Batman Omnibus Evergreen. So if you've missed those Evergreen chats, please join us for those. I need to assemble a team. I forgot who wanted to be in that, so I'll send out another message. Danny DeVito should be He-Man. No, he's going to be Wolverine. Batman Evergreen's the same week of NMC anniversary. Yes, of course it is, James, because I planned it that way. Completely. James has reminded me that I have been doing this for 8 years now.
Wow. Nice.
Oh,
So the 25th, which is that Saturday before. Wow, you're right. Yeah, that would be the 8th year anniversary. My gosh, they're making me read DC. Chains and everything. When is the Spider-Man Evergreen show? Send a signal for that one. Okay, Freddie, I got you, buddy. I'll remember. I know. Well, I promised Curtis we would do an Evergreen show, but he's been super busy. Like, him and David Nakayama and Russell Dodderman have been
Having tea together.
Yeah, whatever editors do, chaining those guys to draw new covers and trading cards and stuff. So once he is released from that, he is more than welcome to do an Evergreen one with us. That would be fun, and one that he would be great at, of course. In 2 years, NMC will be a decade. That is correct. That is correct. 10 years, my gosh. Manga Evergreen. Oh yeah. Think I've got the lineup for that one already. It's gonna be me, Omnidog, and
I was waiting for that.
Omnidog. Can we do the greatest stories of Matter Eater Lab?
Yes.
Oh,
There we go.
Oh God, have mercy.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, it will be a show between Lars and Omnidog, and that's all they will be talking about.
Right on. Fun.
Disney Comics Evergreen. That would be fun. That's a good
oh,
one.
I'm there for that.
That's more of your alley there. Plans to do a live action Thundercats movie. Who should play Lion-O and Mumra? The Rock and John Cena. Old reader, new reader with just reading Berserk. I thought you read the first volume of Berserk. And you were like, no, I can't do this.
It's
you gave it away.
I did. Yeah. I tried Berserk. I mean, I tried a lot of manga. It just doesn't work for me. Reading it backwards, I think my brain just isn't elastic enough anymore to be able to follow the panels, backwards, so-called, for me. It's I just have trouble reading it. I got no problem with the material. I just can't read it.
Got it. Okay. So at this moment, I just want to remind everybody to smash that like button and check out cheapgraphicnovels.com. That is our sponsor here in America. Books up to 50% off. And tell them Near Mint Condition sent you their way for free shipping on your next order after your first one. And I'm going to let all of these folks let themselves out and tell me about themselves before they go. Curtis, kick it off, buddy. Where can people find you when you're not with me?
Well, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. Just look for Epic Marvel Podcast. And you could also find my Discord. James has got all of the information there. Yes, and the Marvel art of Russell Dodderman. Check that out on Kickstarter. That is my upcoming book, which is going to be really, really great.
Full of
So
stickers.
yes, thank you.
So if there's any
Yep.
spelling errors or mistakes, we know who to yell at.
There probably will be. There always
Don't
something
you
always
mess
gets
up
through.
that sticker sheet.
I'm interested in these trading cards. That's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds cool too.
Crisis, what about you, buddy? Where can people find you?
I write all the time, at least multiple times a week at crushingcrisis.com, crushing with a C, crisis with a K. I cover all of Marvel and DC's new releases. I don't just list them. That's boring. I talk about what's going on in every book, why you might like them, and then link to a collecting guide to explain how they're going to be collected and where they fit into that character's rich history. And much to the contrary of some of my comments on these streams, I actually do love a lot of comic books. And if you want to talk to me about the comic books that you love, I am at Crushing Comics. All C's, no K's on Twitter.
Crushing Comics. Near Mint Musician. What's up with you, man? Where can people find you?
I'm Max. I'm on Instagram and on YouTube under my name, Max Appleman, and I play guitar. I'm also usually in the chat here, spewing filth. And James is putting up my links and my.
He's got you. He's got your address. We got you.
Yeah, my address, links to pictures of me as a child, probably. He just says everything.
Omnidog, where can people find you? In my manga section of my basement, apparently, according to John. Where can people find you, buddy?
You can find me Omnidog's Vault on YouTube, Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram, and I have a Discord also, which is a lot of fun. And peace and love. Thanks for having me on this episode. This was great.
You are very welcome. And last but not least, JV's first time here. JV, where can people find you, buddy?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at JVRT21, and you can find me also at Comic Book Lab 2015 on IG. And you can find me as well on my Facebook page.
Did he find you already?
JV Tanjuatco. There you go. Thank you. I know it's a hard name to surname's hard to pronounce, but there you go. Comic Book Lab 2015, and also there's Comic Book Lab on FB as well. Thank you. Thank you, James.
Never question what information James has. You don't want to know the answer.
He had it all right at his fingertips. That's amazing.
I have a feeling that James has like old Polaroids of me that I never once seen by anyone that I thought I burned. And for some reason, he's got them all. And I am the Uncanny Omar. I will be back this Saturday. It's Free Comic Book Day and May the 4th. Holy crap. We are actually streaming for my wife's local comic book store because that's where she buys her single issues, and they asked us to come by to do the stream from there, and we were like, sure, I'm not in the way. So that is fun. A+ comedy. I don't know how loud it's going to be. I'm like, but yes, that would be cool. It's going to be cool. So we'll be there for that. The monthly budget meeting comes out tomorrow and on Patreon tonight. If you have Patreon, and I think that's it. Get ready for some announcements coming this month. That's all I can say.
Oh, Crime Corner on Omnidog's Vault tomorrow, 8 p.m. Crime Corner. That's right. With Bung. Sorry. I had to get that in.
Okay, good. Everybody got everything out they needed to get out? Good deal. All right, everybody. Have a great day. We are out.